As healthcare corners the debate in D.C., one new startup, Better, has entered the scene to make the process simpler, working to get patients paid back by their health insurance. Here's how it works. You go to a doctor or hospital, they do not accept your insurance. Maybe you're off network. Well, simply take a photo of the bill with their app. Then the Better team works with your insurance to get you your money back. Joining us now with more on Better and the changing healthcare landscape is Rachael Norman, Better co-founder and CEO. Better, one of the Initialized Capital, and our co-host, Alexis, Ohanian's investments. So, Rachael, welcome.
Good morning.
Okay, so we've all been there. Something happens, or maybe you're traveling, or whatever you get bad information. You go to a doctor, all of a sudden you get a bill you think is covered, but it's not because you find out you're out of network. I take the picture on the Better app, I send it to you guys. What do you do, and how much and how likely am I to get paid back?
Yeah, so what we do when we get those bills is we actually check them first. You'd be surprised, 90% of medical bills have coding errors. So we actually correct that. So when we're submitting it to the insurance, we're making sure they're getting all the information they need to process it. Now, how much you get back, it's really going to depend on a lot of the details of your policy and how it's covered. For example, if you have a PPO, there's a really good chance that you're going to be able to recover quite a bit of that money.
Wow. So repeat that again, Rachael, because I think that's extremely important, is that it's not just out of network, it's that 90% of bills have some kind of coding error, which means you either are overbilled or didn't deserve the bill in the first place?
Well,
give us an example of what would happen, a basic example.
Yeah, so those get really complicated. A really common example is you take that trip to the emergency room, and that gets sent to your insurance. But the way it was coded, it might look to your insurance like an office visit, and then all of a sudden it's no longer covered as an emergency.
So how do you guys get paid?
So what we do is when that bill is processed by insurance, money goes back to the patient, we take a 10% cut of the money they're getting back. But in those really common cases where it's just going to someone's deductible or it's not covered under their policy, it's totally free to use.
And we were particularly enamored, and the reason we ended up investing was because I don't think we even realized the extent of the problem. Because once you get one of these claims in the mail, you're getting a pretty daunting piece of paper. And I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty smart guy. It's inscrutable. How do you all manage to do this, though, in a way that's scalable?
Yeah, so that's really bringing in a lot of software. If you look at the medical billing space globally, it is still, to this day, tremendously human-powered. And so we're leveraging technology to find and correct those coding errors and get them through the insurance system and correct all the issues that can come up there.
Rachael, is it getting easier? Is it getting better? Because over the last 8 years or so, there's been a lot of consolidation in the doctor space, particularly. It seems like small offices are being forced, because of all the paperwork they've had to deal with under Obamacare, to consolidate and find ways that they can look for technical solutions in some of these things. Does that make your job easier?
So those types of things help, but really what we find is there are an awful lot of doctors, therapists, psychiatrists, all types of healthcare providers that as the system gets continually more complex, they're opting out of insurance altogether. And so what happens when they do that is that work then falls to the patients, and that's where we come in.
And it sounds like you all also were issuing some sort of challenge to John Oliver.
Yeah, so we're doing something that we are really excited about. We're taking 100% of our initial revenue. So every time that claim is paid, we get our 10%. 100% of that is going to purchase and forgive medical debt. And we are buying back $16 million worth of medical debt for folks across the U.S. that are struggling with that. And that actually gives us an opportunity to make a little bit of TV history this morning. So when John Oliver did his debt forgiveness campaign, which was less than ours, he actually beat Oprah and had the largest TV giveaway in history. And now I'm on TV, and we're going to beat him.
All right, well, I guess you're trying to do it. Pardon this. Better. Rachael Norman, I know it's spectacularly early out there on the West Coast. Thank you for getting up. Good luck with the John Oliver Challenge. Appreciate your work.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
I want them to beat John Oliver, but I'm still mad. He showed a picture of me one time, supposedly naked on a bike, right?
You
running
were
over
naked on a
squirrel.
bike?
No, it was like a Photoshop thing because I had made up this story on the air, and I was drinking a beer, and there was a dead squirrel under my bike, and the whole thing.
Wait a second. He has a picture of you naked on a bike.
No. It was Photoshopped, and the guy was
That's
much,
what you're
much
saying. That's what
The
he's
guy
saying.
was much better looking than I. Like he was ripped. Like, and my wife's like, "Why can't you look
You
like
should
that?"
be
in real
happy
life?
with that. Though.
Exactly.
That's what we all want. That's what we all want.
I was actually mad that he said I couldn't have ad-libbed it, which I did.